2023, this year will be the 150th anniversary of the Argos. And when you think of it, the Argos have always been leaders in diversity with everything that you think of. So how do you think, or how do you feel playing for the Argos and being in double blue, just playing for an organization that's always been forward when it comes to diversity?
This is my second year playing for the Argos, and ever since I've been here, I feel like we've always had like a diverse coaching staff. As I mentioned before, we had guys like Howell, McAdoo, and it's like, it's very fitting that we have like such a diverse coaching staff because Toronto's like one of the most diverse cities in the world, right? So like, it's able to like inspire people that live in the city to like be a coach if they choose to.
Yeah, I think the fact that we're in Toronto, like it's a very multicultural city, and to be on a team where they, you know, kind of appreciate diversity and strive to achieve that, I think it's really important. It's parallel with the city. And just like little things like one of our receivers is a Q-Dog. Coach Bell's a Q-Dog. Oh, yeah. Like, you know, just like little things like that, you know, like just to see Coach C's doing his dance and then he's doing the dance too. Like you don't get that if he's not black, right? You know what I mean? So like, cause it's a black frat historically, right? So just stuff like that I think is really cool to come into work and see. And it's like little things that you learn to appreciate. You know, I don't know how it is in other organizations, but, you know, to see stuff like that and then to come in and Coach Howell was running the meeting in my first year. Coach Howell would run our offensive meetings, and not that anything's bad that anyone else does it now, but just the fact that that was happening is like subconsciously you feel a little more comfortable, like you appreciate it a little more, you know?
But even there was it was a brief time in 2019 for me, but like I thought about it, I was like, this is kind of like black excellence when you think about it, because like I was a player, and then at the time in 2019, or most teams the players are black, and then my D-line coach at the time, he was black, my defensive coordinator and head coach, Coach Chamberlain, he was black, and then Pinball came in as the executive GM at the time, and then he was black. So everybody from top down in the organization was black at the time in 2019. And I just thought that was so amazing, just because you're around so many successful black people at different stages in their career and at different levels in an organization. So anybody you go to, you almost feel like you can trust them and you can have a conversation with them and you can relate to them in different ways, right? So that was just huge for me, just to think about how forward the Argos is as an organization and how important it is to have like just black people and successful black people at different levels.
Yeah, I gotta shout out the team though, like the organization as a whole too. Like there's like a level of respect for each other, no matter the skin color, that I've noticed since I first got here. Because our receiver coach was Howell and RD was our like OC/head coach. Well, head coach, but /OC. And just the way they interacted with each other was just respect. Everybody respected each other. And I appreciated that, you know, because in certain situations, like you kind of feel like, oh, does he feel like he has more say than this person because of the status or skin color or anything, but I didn't feel any of that. And there's no difference now that our receiver coach is white. It's the same thing, but, you know, looking back on my first year, when, you know, it was like a little more like mixed, the respect was there. And I felt like that was, you know, it's like synonymous to what we were saying earlier, like the Argos have always been first in diversity, so it just makes sense that that's the culture.
Pinball being the first black head coach to win a Grey Cup too.
Yeah, ever.
Yeah, like that's crazy. And I don't know who's the first executive, but for him to win.
It's one at every level.
Yeah.
Player, coach.
Yeah.
Why is he not here?
And just to see, but honestly, shout out to Pinball, just because like I'm sure all of us know, like Pinball was in the community since we were very, very young, just being a role model in the community. Like Pinball is a huge, huge black role model in Toronto and in the GTA for black people everywhere. Just to know that he's won at every level and that he still comes in with his smile and with his positive words of affirmation. Like everybody knows this. So having Pinball around, like it's just an aura of positivity that just walks around with you. So yeah, he makes
a little bit after a rough practice. So.
I remember growing up and seeing his face on the side of the TTC buses. Yeah. I'm like, who is this guy? And then now he's like he's my GM. So nah, it's crazy.